the things that the Commission is doing to make sure that they are monitoring these service providers?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Olatunde Olatubosu, and I'm in charge of broadband systems and internet services planning for MTN Nigeria. I have a couple of questions. The first being that we want spectrum availability to be easy to get, and also such that broadband services are properly driven and available to most of Nigerians. So if that's the case, then what's delaying the allocation of the 2.6 gigahertz bandwidth to existing telecom operators? I know we've been on it for about a year. Okay, it would be good if we can get some form of feedback on the reasons for this delay. Then the second bit is, there are a couple of challenges that we're having with broadband today, which we expect to explode by the time broadband is basic and available as we expect it to be. And one of such is the issue of fraud by users, and a lot of such is tied to masking of IP addresses and all that. And it's been very challenging, particularly for the law enforcement agencies, to be able to track down these perpetrators. Okay? So my question in that regard is this. We know that IP version 4 will be exhausted pretty soon. It's exhausted in a couple of countries already. So what are the regulatory plans and awareness around migration to IP version 6? Okay? Now the last question is this. Currently, there are a lot of innovation around the broadband space, but we believe that there will be a lot more by the time broadband is pervasive, like I said. Okay? The mobile operators are currently scared, in quotes. I've not been sent to say that, I'm just saying it from my point of experience. Okay? So you have SMS revenue already cannibalized with the likes of WhatsApp and the rest of that. Okay? Now the main chunk of the revenue, which is voice, is also currently being threatened with the likes of other OTT services that are available. There are lots of them. So you have the Viber, you have the Tango, you have the Skype, and a lot of them. And of course, we also know the amount of revenue that these telecom operations generate to the coffers of the government. So the question is, what is the regulator or regulatory doing to manage such, trend? In order to ensure that innovation does not go down, and at the same time, the government keeps enjoying the amount of revenue and income we get from these operators. Thank you.
My name is Richard Akoni, IHS Nigeria PLC Limited. Sorry. My concern has to do with issues, of multiple taxation now, and I'm bringing it up again because as at the first time you were not seated. I'm referring to Mr. Austin. Now you have state governments, having different ministries of state government charging fees for this and that and that, and even charging fees for things that probably do not concern them, like when you have a state government asking you to pay for environmental impact audit, and you're wondering, isn't this supposed to be under the auspices of the Federal Ministry of Environment? What exactly? And of course, we all agree. It's something that has been said during this forum time and over again by all the people that have spoken, that the issue of multiple taxation is one of the issues affecting the industry. Now, my concern is, since we have identified that problem, what is NCC doing about it? It's a problem that we have over time identified. What exactly is being put in place to make sure that this issue is being solved once and for all?
What is the Commission doing to monitor? A lot of things. In fact, currently what the Commission is putting in place is an intrusive system that you have installed in the operator's network, and we get real life data that is not adulterated in any way, so that we are the people that do the extraction and analysis of the data. investment, operators invest in order to make money. Operators invest in order to give you service. If they don't make the money in return, there won't be sustained investment. And if there is no sustained investment, there is no sustained operator. And if there is no sustained operator, there is no sustained satisfaction for you. So, much as we want to protect the subscribers, we also are protecting the operators. And by protecting the operators, what we are doing is to protect you. A couple of operators have run out of business. Those subscribers that were tied to those operators today are not enjoying those services. But they have the option because there are other operators who are providing those services. So what we don't want as a regulator is to have operators go out of business. There are operators that we want today to give you at no charge. Do we permit that? We don't want to permit that because there is something you may not know. There is something they call short-term gain for long-term pain. The guy comes, gives you at no price. Every one of you rush to that one. You kill that one and go back to it. And that is not what the regulator wants. Like I said, we are there for a balance to ensure that you exist and the operators exist. Then you have a right as a consumer, and we have marketed that in every of our forums. We have a complaints platform. Somebody is not billing you appropriately. I heard somebody say that called the customer care, and the customer care said that there is no law that make them bill them accurately. I said that is something that can never. I just suppose perhaps the person reporting is not reporting exactly what was told. Because billing accuracy is something that the Commission monitors. And if you have been given a particular service and you are not getting that value that you have been offered, you complain to the operator that is giving you that, and when you are not getting redress, you escalate it to the Commission and the Commission handles it. Delay in the 2.6 licensing. Every postponement came with a reason, and it is declared. I am not the spokesperson of the NCC, but I tell you that the postponements were administrative, various levels of administrative, in terms of administrative. That spectrum is being refined, and a lot of things need to go into that and concluded. So the assurance I am giving is that very soon the announcement will be up, because we need to license this. We need it more than you think you need it. The regulator is more interested in licensing it more than you are interested in licensing it. It was a lot of battles to even get the spectrum released. The industry was part of it. You were part of it. You were part of it. We've gotten it to a particular level, and we need to clean up everything and get the license running. And very soon, I think I will say very soon. Regulatory plan for migration to IPv6. I am not an expert in that, but I think I know that steps are being taken. We have a department that's actually handling that in the Commission. And IPv6 is the way to go. There is plan for migration. I am very sure that I can't give you the details. The OTTs. The OTTs are providing service for us. Are they not?
Yes.
And I am sure if I say by the raise of hand, who wants the OTTs out of the market? Can I see the hands?
Unfortunately not.
Nobody want them out because they provide value. But the point that I say most often is that nothing stops the operators. They should research and develop their own value. You are talking about demand. That is demand. Nothing stops an MTN from developing those services and launching them and have everybody around the world use those. Nothing. But that does not mean that they will not be regulated. When you were a kid, you crawled. At some point, you started walking. At some point, you started running. So those issues are being looked at very critically at the NCC. And as we go, we involve you also. We don't do anything without you. Bring it down, and both you and the OTT, when they are there, we'll talk about it and we'll take a step. Multiple taxation. I am sure I am not even in the best position to talk about. The fact is that most of these things are as a result of duplications in law. At times, statements, they just read a particular clause, and that clause, they say that clause gives them the power to do what they are doing. So it's either you go to court and go and argue it in the court and establish it there. What will you rather do? You do interventions, you do negotiations, you do talks. Over and over again, we are getting results. Plan to protect all services, speed of LTE, plan auctioning LTE spectrum. Like I said, once the spectrum come on board, we license it. Whether it's auction or it's not auction, that is determined. We don't hold any spectrum. Once it's matured and it's available, we invite you, we talk about it, the licensing format that we are taking, we discuss it, and we hit the road with it.
I like to look more at the big picture. Like I said, the fixed solution, the fiber, yes, it's there to give you broadband, but the speed we need to get broadband is more on the wireless side. There's a lot more on the wireless side, so we need more spectrum, and that's something which you touched on in your, you talked about that in your presentation. But I think we need to do more in that regard. Particularly also, I like to also talk to operators, fellow operators. We don't participate a lot in these events, in these discussions with the NCC. I would like to also appeal to us to talk more with NCC on these things, and also appeal to government to look more at greater partnership with operators on issues of spectrum. For instance, I don't see any reason why there shouldn't be participation by the private sector on the National Frequency Management Council. That's one council that takes key decisions on spectrum issues. I think the government can open up space for operators to participate and contribute, and would have meaningful contributions from operator perspectives that would be useful in expanding that space.
Wireless access license is new, and obviously one could actually look at it more like a pioneering service to be able to help in driving the broadband penetration. I would say we will need more support from the NCC. There is the issue of the initiatives, and then there is the issue of spectrum availability and rollout. I do remember then when the GSM companies came out, they got all the incentives possible, no duty, no this, no that, no that. Now, we would want, for this acceleration to happen through the broadband, the wholesale services, considering that the ecosystem is whole and it's not all the parts that have been put on the table at the moment, it will be a nice thing to look at incentivizing that particular license. Aside that is the issue of the enterprise spectrum, enterprise business backhaul spectrum that Ikenna mentioned. I think that is one of the essence of the wholesale wireless access license, and the issue of collaborating. We've actually come around to many of the operators. We have enough spectrum to be able to accommodate most of your needs. Austin has talked about constraint. We talked about scarcity of spectrum itself, but when an operator has been licensed as wholesale, wholesale is simply to be able to energize other operators. The issue of collaboration has been quite difficult to achieve in our environment. I don't know whether that needs to be regulated. The regulators sometimes they do their bit. It is now left for us players to collaborate and cooperate with each other.